Welcome back to On the Sideline. I'm your host, Ki-Hoon Lee. Thanks for joining me on this lovely Wednesday morning. In this week's episode, we recap all the games from week number 13 of the NFL season, discuss why I think the Carolina Panthers are going to win a playoff game this season, why I think the Chiefs are officially cooked, and then why I think teams need to pump the brakes on JJ McCarthy and more. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell, like this video, and comment down below if you're riding with the Carolina Panthers. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, kicking off week 13, we got the Packers and the Lions. And honestly, I gotta say, as a Packers fan, this was our best win of the season. I know we played Detroit game one in the season opener. This one is by far the best win. Peeking at the stars, I mean, you got J-Lo going off for 234 yards and 4 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs was kind of shut down, unfortunately, with 83 yards rushing. Touchdowns were caught by Dontavian Wicks, Christian Watson, and Romeo Doubs. And defensively, the MVP of the game was Micah Parsons with 2.5 sacks. As for Detroit, it wasn't pretty. I mean, Jared Goff was solid in this game, 256 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times. Jahmyr Gibbs was unfortunately shut down, if you would, along with David Montgomery, even though David Montgomery got the touchdown. Receiving was led by Jamison Williams with 144 yards receiving, and defensively, they could not stop the Packers offense. Next game up, we got the Chiefs and the Cowboys, and honest to God, I'm going to say this later, the Chiefs are screwed, okay? You got Mahomes playing probably his best game statistically, 261 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Run game was shut down to 58 yards from Kareem Hunt. Receiving touchdowns were led by Rashid Rice and Travis Kelce and Hollywood Brown, but defensively, yeah, they got the interception and the forced fumble. It just wasn't enough. As for the Cowboys, Dak is just on a tear. I mean, you got 320 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. All right. Run game was shut down, if you would, with Javonte Williams going for 59 yards. CeeDee Lamb bounced back with 112 yards and a touchdown, 112 and a touchdown. George Pickens was kind of shut down a little bit with 88 yards receiving. Defensively was sacked by Jadeveon Clowney with 2. Donovan Winston got the fumble, and that's pretty much it. Next up, we got the Bengals and the Ravens and Joe Burrow's first game back. This I don't even know what to make of this game. You got Joe Burrow, who was solid in his game with 261 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. And then you got Chase Brown, who got 70 yards rushing, so he was kind of shut down. Jamar Chase had a had probably his best game. I know he's had a lot of best games, but still, 110 yards receiving. Andre Joseph had a touchdown. Tanner Hudson had a touchdown, and defensively, this was probably their best defensive game. Joseph Ossie had 2 sacks, and Demetrius Knight Jr. had the interception, and Cedric Johnson had 2 fumble recoveries, and Jalen Davis and Joseph Osai and Jordan Battle all got a forced fumble.
Like 45 minutes away. So can you guys come back
As for the Ravens, this
today?
this is what I don't know.
Here it's like 12.
This was terrible for the Ravens. I mean, you got Lamar, who did not play well, 246 yards passing,
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry about that.
an interception. He also was sacked 3 times.
What's the
Run game was shut down by Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell, and receiving was led by Isaiah Likely with 95 yards.
7?
And their defense, I mean, their defense couldn't do anything.
Are you sure? It was 600 and something on
Next game up, we got the Bears and the Eagles, and I, honest to God, don't even know what to make of the Eagles now. Like, this is pathetic. Caleb Williams was okay in this game, but the run game was the star of the show. Kyle Malonga and DeAndre Swift decided to turn to Matt Forte and Walter Payton, in the same backfield and go crazy. Cole Kmet caught the game-winning touchdown, and defensively, Kevin Byard got the touchdown. Nathan Wright got a fumble, the fumble recovery.
Okay, great, thank you so much.
That was pretty much it. As for the Eagles, I mean, I don't even know what to say about the Eagles. This was, I don't even know what to say. Jalen Hurts was solid, 230 yards passing, two touchdowns, interception. Run game was non-existent with 56 yards from Saquon. AJ Brown bounced back with 132 yards receiving and two touchdowns. And defensively, other than Jalen Carr, Nolan Smith getting a sack, they didn't do anything. As for the morning game, Saints and the Dolphins, I didn't watch this game at all. Tyler Shutt was solid with two touchdowns. He was sacked four times though. Devin Neal was the lone rusher with 47 yards receiving. Devon Vale and Chris Olave both caught touchdown. And defensively, I mean, you got Cam Jordan who has two sacks, Byron Brees with a sack, and Chase Young with the sack, and Cool at A. McKinstry with the interception. I mean, Dolphins was not good either. Tua struggled in this game with an interception and four sacks. Devon Achane actually had a really good game with 134 yards rushing, touchdown. Receiving was led by Darren Waller with 47 yards. And defensively, I mean, they did play well. It just was a good. It was just an all good performance. It wasn't. This game wasn't a fun game to watch, in my opinion. Next game up, we got the Colts and the Texans. And honest to God, I might rethink my preseason prediction on if I want the Jags to make the playoffs. You got CJ Stroud, who was solid in this game, even though he threw an interception. Nick Chubb had a touchdown. Nico Collins had a rushing touchdown in this game. Receiving was led by Nico Collins, and defensively, as they've always done, their defense only got one sack, which was kind of surprising. For the Colts, I mean, Daniel Jones was solid in this game. He had two touchdowns in this game. Jonathan Taylor was non-existent in this game. Alec Pierce had the touchdown, and then defensively, I mean, Cam Bynum had an interception, and Chris Wormley had the sack. Next game up, we got the Falcons and the Jets, and honest to God, the Falcons need to just blow this thing up because this is just straight up depressing. Like you got Kirk Cousins who played solid in this game with 234 yards passing and a touchdown, two sacks. You got Bijan Robinson who had a really good game, like I said he would, with 140 yards rushing and a touchdown. Tyler Algier touchdown. Receiving was led by Kyle Pitts with 82 yards, and defensively you could only generate two sacks. Two sacks, really, against arguably the worst team in the NFL, one of the worst teams in the NFL. Shame on you, Falcons. Shame on you. As for the Jets, I mean, Tyrod Taylor was solid. He had a touch. He had 173 yards passing and a touchdown. Brees Hall had a rushing touchdown. Tyrod Taylor also had a rushing touchdown. Receiving was led by Adonia Mitchell with 102 yards and a touchdown. And defensively, yeah, they got after Kirk Cousins twice in this game, which is kind of shocking. Next game up, we got the 49ers and the Browns. And honest to God, the 49ers, I look at them right now, they're nasty. I mean, you got Brock, who didn't play well, but he played a lot better with 160 yards passing and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey was unfortunately shut down in this game but he did have a rushing touchdown. Brock Purdy also ran it in for a touchdown. Receiving was led by George Kittle with 67 yards receiving. And then defensively, they got after Shedeur Sanders three times in this game. As for the Browns, I mean, Shedeur was okay in this game, 149 yards passing and a touchdown. He was sacked three times. Quinshon Judkins was actually solid with 91 yards rushing. Receiving was led by Harold Fanning Jr. with 43 yards. And once again, the sack was by, guess who? Myles Garrett. That man's a metahuman. That man is a metahuman. Next game up, we got the Rams and the Panthers in probably the craziest morning game I've ever seen so far this year, which is saying a lot. You got Matthew Stafford, who had two touchdowns and two interceptions. Blake Corum caught a rushing touchdown. Kyron Williams had a rushing touchdown. Receiving was led by Devontae Adams with 2 touchdowns, and defensively, they could only get after Bryce Young only twice. But man, as for the Panthers, I mean, Bryce Young was amazing in this game. He had 3 touchdowns and 206 yards passing. Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowd were both shut down, unfortunately. But receiving was led by Jalen Coker with 74 yards and a touchdown. Tatori McMillan has been balling out this year as a rookie. He had a touchdown, and Chuba Hubbard had a touchdown as well. And defensively, while their defense wasn't that good, only generating 2 sacks, they got the game-winning, I think, fumble recovery, I believe, by I forgot who it was, but good stuff from Carolina. Next game up, we got the Jaguars and the Titans, and honest to God, I did not watch any minute of this game, and I'm glad I did because this game was ugly. You got Trevor Lawrence, who had 229 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. The run game was unfortunately shut down, unfortunately, with Travis Etienne going for 28 yards. Receiving was led by Jacoby Myers with 90 yards and a touchdown. Brenton Strange had 45 yards and a touchdown. And defensively, another standout performance by guess who? Josh Hines Allen with 2 sacks. Oh yeah, I gotta say Austin Johnson and both Ventrell Miller both caught an interception as well. Wait, no, they both forced a fumble in this game, and while Aquan Lane recovered. As for the Titans, I don't even know what to say. I mean, Cam Ward was ass in this game. I'm sorry to say that he was terrible. 141 yards. All right. Rushing was led by Tony Pollard with 60 yards. Chigozie Kongwu had 29 yards receiving. Defensively, Kevin Winston Jr. had a sack, Jeffrey Simmons had a sack, and Jahai Ward had a sack. So, yeah. Next game up, we got the Cardinals and the Bucks, and this game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I mean, you got Jacoby Brissett having himself a day, like 301 yards passing and 2 touchdowns and an interception. Run game was unfortunately shut down in this game with 62 yards rushing. Receiving was led by Trey McBride with 82 yards and a touchdown. Zonovan Knight also had a passing touchdown. And defensively, Josh Sweat seems to be the best free agent signing this season with 2 sacks. Well, I think he has like 8 this year right now. How many sacks does Josh Sweat have? He has he has 11 sacks already. Wow. It's crazy. Moving on to our next game, we got the Vikings and the Seahawks. And if you're a Vikings fan, I think the Timberwolves were playing this on this day. You probably should have watched that or something because this was depressing. All right, Max Brosmer with 126 yards passing, 4 interceptions, and 4 sacks. Run game was shut down. Justin Jefferson was actually shut down, which is kind of nuts, with 2 receptions. TJ Hawkinson had 59 yards passing, and defensively, they even though they got after Sam Darnold like what is it like 4 times in this game, it just wasn't enough, you know. As for the Seahawks, Sam didn't do bad, didn't do good either. 120 yards passing and 4 sacks. Run game was kind of shut down a little bit, even though Zach Charbonnet had a touchdown. Receiving was led by AJ Barner with 35 yards, and defensively, I mean, work right again. DeMarcus Lawrence had a sack. Byron Murphy Jr. had a sack. Leonard Williams had a sack. Drake Thomas had a half a sack. Uchenna Nwosu had a sack. All right, Kobe Bryant had an interception. Reek Woolen, I think it was Tariq Woolen, had an interception, and Ernest Jones had 2 interceptions. This was just an ugly performance. Next up, we got the Bills and the Steelers, and honest to God, this AFC North is just getting on my nerves, man. This division is just so weird. You got Josh Allen, who did not have a good game in this game. He did not play well. All right, he had 123 yards passing and a touchdown and interception. It was actually the run game that was the biggest star of the game. James Cook had 144 yards rushing. Josh also ran in for a touchdown. Receiving was led by James Cook with 33 yards receiving. Keon Coleman had the touchdown. And defensively, yeah, Joey Bosa got a sack in this game, but Christian Benford had an interception, and Joey had a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery, and that was pretty much it. As for the Steelers, I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore at this point. Aaron was okay in this game. 117 yards. passing. This was probably his worst game I've seen him play, and I've seen a lot of Aaron Rodgers games before. He was sacked once, thankfully, but it just wasn't enough. Jalen Warren had a rushing touchdown. Receiving was led by Darnell Washington with 45 yards. And defensively, even though they got a fumble, I think it was by like Yahi Black and Nick Herbig, and Patrick Queen ultimately recovered, it just wasn't enough. Oh, yeah, Brandon Eccles had an interception. It just wasn't enough. Next game up, we got the Raiders and the Chargers. And honest to God, the Chargers are just, they're resilient, man. Geno Smith, despite being solid in this game, had 165 yards passing, two touchdown interception. He was sacked 5 times. Ashton Genty was shut down with 31 yards rushing. Brock Bowers was amazing in this game with two touchdowns. He also did catch like a really sick touchdown. If you haven't seen it, I think it's probably on the NFL YouTube channel right now. Go check it out. It's insane. Sacked was by Max Crosby with two. Malcolm Kunichi had a sack. Kyle Bublelli had an interception. And that was pretty much it for the Raiders. The Raiders hung in there, man. They hung in there. As for the Chargers, I mean, Justin Herbert was solid in this game. He had two touchdowns and an interception. Kamon Vidal has been balling out s- since he became the guy. He had 126 yards rushing and a touchdown. Jared Peterson had a rushing touchdown. Receiving was led by Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnson with both the touchdown. And once again, defense was led by Tuia with two sacks. Khalil Mack had a half a sack. Dan Henley had a half a sack. Bud Dupree had a sack, and then Tony Jefferson had an interception, and Khalil Mack forced a fumble. Next game up, we got the Broncos and the Commanders in this game. And honest to God, this game was actually fun to watch. Like, I didn't watch a ton of this game, but like when I was able to watch it, it was crazy. You got Bo Nix, who I'm reminding everyone is a good quarterback. He had probably his best game of the season. You know, he had 320 yards passing and a touchdown interception. RJ Harvey had two rushing touchdowns. One ended up being the game winner. Receiving was led by Evan Ingram with 79 yards receiving, and defensively, despite not getting 8 sacks like they usually do, Nick Bonito got a sack. Nick Bonito got a sack. Dondre Tillman had a sack. And then Drake Greenlaw had an interception, and Nick Bonito forced a fumble. As for the Commanders, I mean, Marcus Mariota was amazing this game. Like I loved Marcus as a Duck fan. Like he played out of his mind. You got Marcus, who had 209 yards passing and two touchdowns and an interception. Run game was kind of shut down a little bit, but Marcus had 55 yards rushing. Receiving was led by Zach Ertz and Terry McLaurin, even though Terry had the touchdown. Traylon Burks had a receiving touchdown. It was kind of insane. And Bobby Wagner had an interception, and other than Frank Louisville with a sack, it just wasn't it. And finally, we got the Giants and the Patriots. And honestly, this game was actually like really boring to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought, like the Giants were gonna keep it close, but Mike Vrabel, you had other plans, my man. You got Jackson Dart, who was okay in this game, 139 yards passing and a touchdown. Devin Singletary had a rushing touchdown. Darius Slayton had a touchdown. And defensively, even though they got to Drake May 3 times in the game, it just wasn't enough. As for the Patriots, Drake May he's been balling, man. 280 yards passing and two touchdowns. Run game was shut down a little bit with Travion Henderson going for 67 yards. Receiving was led by Hunter Henry with 73 yards. And defensively, even though they got after Jackson Dart like twice, it was a pretty dominant performance. Oh, yeah, shout out Marcus Jones for the punt return touchdown. That was nuts. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So moving on to our next segment, we're going to be discussing why I think the Carolina Panthers are going to win a playoff game this year. Yes, you heard me right, folks out there. I said the Carolina Panthers will make the playoffs this year. Look, I really like this Carolina Panthers team, and I know they're very inconsistent. Like they will win a big game, but they will lose to a team that's not as good as them. I think this team has a chance to win a playoff game this year because of two reasons. One, they know how to beat an elite team. Like they've beaten the Rams last weekend, as I said. They've beaten the Packers. They've beaten the Cowboys, let me remind you. And I know they didn't I know they lost to the 49ers last week, but if you looked at that game was actually like close than people think. I know the final score was 20-9, but still. They know how to hang with the big boys. All right. But the second reason why I think they can win it is because I think their offense is very underrated. Like they can have Bryce Young go crazy in certain games and they can rely on the run game. That's what's beauty about the Panthers. Like I watched this Panthers team. Let me remind you, this Panthers team is resilient. Like they know how to put up points. All right. And their defense, if their defense can play decent, all right, this team's gonna be annoying to play against. Like people tend to forget a few years ago, the Panthers had a top 10 defense statistically, which is kind of crazy, you know? So, yeah, in conclusion, if the Panthers make it to the playoffs, I won't be surprised at all if they win a playoff game just because of like I said, their resiliency and being able to hang with the big boys. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I think they can do it. Do you think the Panthers make the playoffs? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, moving on to our next segment, we are going to be discussing why I think the Chiefs are done. All right. Look, I've been really skeptical about the Chiefs this season. You know, I've said they were one of the best teams in the league, but as I said with my third quarter grades, they just don't look good. Like, tell me right now, what is their best win of the season? Like like they played a full 60-minute game. Okay, let me repeat that. Full 60-minute game, and they actually play well. What was their best game? Was it against Detroit? I guess you could say Detroit. Baltimore, well, Baltimore was okay. They don't have a signature win on their schedule. All right. And that's why, as I sit here on December 3rd on at 10:50 a.m. West Coast time, they're done. All right. Their schedule is an absolute gauntlet to deal with. All right. Not to mention their offensive line is not that very good. All right. If they don't, all right, and guess who they play next weekend? The Texans, who let me remind everyone had 8 sacks, 8 sacks against the Buffalo Bills. Granted, the Bills' offensive line is not that very good, but when you could get 8 sacks in any single game, that is nuts. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below if you think the Chiefs are done, or if you think the Chiefs are gonna come back somehow. So moving on to our next segment, we're gonna get into our week 14. I know it's crazy. Week 14 NFL picks. You know, last week was actually a bounce back week, was actually a really bounce back week for me. I went 11-5, totally my record too. Let me do some math here. 26, 33, 43, 49, 58, 67, 75, I think, or 75, 84, 92, 104, 116, and 121. 121 and 5, 8, 11, 17, 22, 27, 33, 39, 47, 52, 59, and 62 and 65. 112, 65, and 1. So let's get started. We're probably going to do these rapid fires, so just bear with me. So we're going to start with the Thursday night game. Cowboys at the Lions. This is going to be a good game. As I'm recording this video right now, Amon-Ra St. Brown is still will see in this game, so I'm gonna predict that he's out for this game. I'm gonna take the Cowboys to win this game, and probably the highest scoring game of the weekend, in my opinion, 27-26. I think this is gonna be a very back and forth game, but as I said before, which defense is gonna make the first mistake? Offense is gonna make the first mistake, I'm sorry. I think it's gonna be the Lions, 27-26. Next game up, we got the Jets and the Dolphins. This is going to be a pretty good game. I am going to take the Dolphins to win this game. I think the Dolphins have been playing really well as of late. I know they haven't played any good teams in that stretch, but they've been playing really well lately. The Jets, they're going to keep it close because they've been, despite the record, they're hanging in there, man. Regardless, give me the Dolphins to win this game 24-17. Next game up, we got the Commanders and the Vikings. I'm actually going to take the Commanders to win this game 24-19. All right. The one thing that the Commanders shown me is that they're resilient. They're going to fight. All right, the Vikings, they just look like they just give it up this season, which is kind of sad. All right. Regardless, I think the Vikings keep it close because of that Brian Flores defense, but give me the Commanders to win 24-19. Next game up, we got the Steelers and the Ravens. Do I have to pick a winner in this one? Jesus Christ. I guess I'll take Baltimore 21-20. This is gonna be a very low mid-scoring game. I don't want to pick a winner in this game. Seahawks and Falcons, Seattle, 34-24. I if the only way the Falcons win this game is if they can run the football, which is gonna be a tall task ahead. Colts and the Jaguars. I'm gonna take the Jaguars to win this game. I think the Jags right now are a much better team than the Colts. And the Colts haven't won in Jacksonville in like a decade. So like Titans and Browns, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna take the Browns. All right. I guess 17-14. I don't know. Saints and Buccaneers. Give me the Bucks, 35-10. Bills at Bengals at Bills. This is gonna be a good one. I'm gonna take the Bengals. I know this sounds kind of crazy. I am assuming T. Higgins is gonna play in this game, which I think he is. Bills are gonna keep it close, but which team is gonna make the first mistake? I don't know. Give me the Bengals to win this game 28-27. Next game up, Broncos and Raiders. Broncos 28-17. All right. Raiders are going to keep it close, but, you know, Rams and Cardinals. Rams, what are we talking here? 24, 20, 31-20. All right. Bears and Packers. The game that I marked on my calendar with a big fat circle. And it's also a rivalry game because my brother and I have been trash talking each other this past week about this game. Give me my Packers in this one. 35-24. All right. We got to shut down the run game and we got to get pressure off Caleb Williams. I think my boys can handle it. Go Pack, go. 35-24. Texans and Chiefs. Like I said, I'm going to take the Texans in this one. I think the Chiefs are going to keep it close, but how close can they keep it? 27-23. And then Eagles and the Chargers. Assuming Justin Herbert plays, I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game. 27-26. All right. I think the Eagles are going to find a way to keep it close, but I trust the Chargers more than I trust the Eagles. So those are my week 14 NFL picks. So what are you guys' thoughts on this week's video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, please get a like, subscribe, turn that post notification bell. I have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Stay safe and stay warm out there. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.